800-405-2561. 800-405-2561. That's 800-405-2561.
Welcome in to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, and also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you search Picks and Parlays, we're usually the first thing that pops up. Really easy to find. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me on Twitter, at Chelsa Messinger is my handle. It's just my name. Also really easy to find. Excuse me. Today is Friday, September 27th. Happy Friday, everyone, and good luck on the incoming week of college football and NFL. Of course, we've got plenty of football to dive into this Friday afternoon, including the original football, soccer. We've got Premier League soccer with Nick Geber in the first segment. And then second, we've got some NFL along with a couple college football games with Chip Chirimbes. And then finally, we've got NFL Rapid Fire with Joe D'Amico and Craig Trapp. We've got a ton of games to get to, and we've got, hopefully, a lot of winners picked out. We also have 4 college football games tonight that we've covered in some of the previous shows in depth. If you head to our YouTube page, we have analysis and updates on all of those games, so it's kind of like a Netflix for sports bettors if you want to head over to our YouTube page. For those games tonight, Duke at Virginia Tech, Penn State, Maryland, San Jose State Air Force, Arizona State, and Cal. So I'm kind of excited for that Pac-12 one because Pac-12 after dark, always exciting. Speaking of last night's game, the Eagles won as outright underdogs, 34-27 over the Packers. Craig's looking at me. I got that correct though, right? Yes. Oh, you just lost. We've got some sour Sallies in the building. So Doug Peterson is now 4-0 on Thursday Night Football. What a stat. The Packers were 3-0 against the spread this season. Not so much anymore. We'll dive into all kinds of football today. And also, did you see who's headlining the Super Bowl halftime show? J-Lo and Shakira. It looks like, I saw a joke on Twitter how Tom Brady is not going to be the hottest 50-year-old at the Super Bowl this year. Of course, because J-Lo, man, she doesn't age. We'll be back after the break, starting off with some soccer. Stick with us on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-7851, 800-439-7851, 800-439-7851, 800-439-7851.
Dell Semi-Annual Sale is officially on. You now have the rare chance to get the latest Dell and Alienware computers with Intel Core processors at 17% off. A discount usually reserved just for Dell employees. Shop a wide selection of leading-edge Dell and Alienware monitors and more, all with free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL or go to Dell.com/semi-annual sale to enjoy huge limited-time employee savings. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851.
This is Lou Landers from Sports Over Night America. You can catch my co-host Ron McLeese and I every Friday night on the Sports Byline Radio Network. We talk MLB, NFL, fantasy sports, gambling. We'll help you win money. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest news from around the world of sports. Sports Over Night America, 11 p.m. Pacific every Friday night on the Sports Byline Radio Network.
I have two.
Oh, good.
We're having pin debates on Picks and Parlays Radio. Welcome back. As you can see, we're ready for business here on this Friday afternoon. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger. I'm joined now by Nick Gieber, who is back by popular demand.
Apparently so, Chelsea. My picks have been, well, they've been wicked hot, let's be honest. And quite frankly, I have developed a small problem. My right arm has become substantially longer than my left. That's as a result of me patting myself on the back quite so much.
I was wondering where that was going.
My picks have been good, but I have to tell you, we're talking Premier League football, and this weekend, well, it's a little bit of a snoozer, to be fair, because
you're not hyping us up right now.
I know, I'm sorry, but every week up to this point, we've had like a big 6 matchup, a massive derby, or, you know, some great huge upsets.
But this is a betting show, so I mean, you can still win money even though they're snooze fest. I mean, we bet on terrible games when it comes to football.
It is, and quite frankly, Chelsea, I do have some good money picks for you today. Maybe not the most spectacular of games, the matches everybody wants to see, but I have 3 that I've selected. I have personally brought these out from the pot of goodness, and I'm presenting them to our viewers and listeners here so that they can win a little dosh this weekend.
All right, yeah. For those of you that don't know, dosh is money.
That's right, Chelsea.
That's something I had to learn.
I'm training you well. I like this. All right. Sky Sports will come a-calling next, so watch out. Okay, shall we start with a match that... well, I'll put it this way. Aston Villa, Burnley at Villa Park, and Villa are still probably trying to figure out exactly how they managed to lose to Arsenal's 10 men after they were ahead last week. And really, I can't answer that question because Arsenal are, quite frankly, one of the more up and down teams, pretty much lacking in any sort of defense whatsoever in the Premier League. But Aston Villa did manage to choke. But this match is at Villa Park. Burnley, on the other hand, they beat Norwich without too many problems last weekend. So you might think, well, Villa, horrible, Burnley, you know, Burnley might win. But actually, this is at Villa Park. So I quite like this. Burnley have yet to win away. And that, I think, folks, that is the fact that is going to really take me to telling you to bet the Villa win at home, Villa Park, plus 120. Now, I predict the scoreline here, Charles, is going to be 2-1. And the reason I did that is because...
You've been hot on those scores.
Yeah. I actually threw out a bunch of numbers and put fish smell on them. And whichever one my cat jumped on, those are the ones I picked. Well, she jumped on a 2 and she jumped on a 1. So I'm thinking this is 2-1. Total goals, the line on this one's 2.5. So you want to bet the over. And hey, it's plus 101. So how about that?
All
Take
right.
the over. Plus 101. Take Villa at home. You know, and it is hard to back against Burnley, but I do think Dean Smith's side going to get it done here.
All right, let's move on to some other games, some other winners. And I know sometimes Nick's been predicting these draws that have been paying really well.
Well, you must read my mind, all my notes, Chelsea. I'm not sure which one.
I can't read it. That writing is so small.
Yeah, we're going for another one today. Bournemouth, West Ham. This is West Ham away. West Ham are unbeaten in their last 5, and Bournemouth are struggling mightily. Now, last season, these two teams West Ham in particular was struggling, but under Pellegrini, their manager, they've really come through. And I said they've won, they're unbeaten in their last 5. This is 5th and 6th in the table. So this is a match with what we call a 6-pointer. There are lots of implications on this because obviously Bournemouth would love to leapfrog West Ham in the table, move up to 5th if they could do that. But midweek was a bit of a disaster for both these clubs. They both played in the Carabao Cup, and unfortunately they both lost. Part of that is because they were playing some younger players and some players off the bench because they wanted to keep their first string team intact for the big match over the weekend. But West Ham did lose to Oxford, and Bournemouth did lose to Burton Albion, surprisingly enough. Now, I know that name's probably something you've never heard before, Chelsa. But look, I actually quite like this match to be one of those patented draws I talk about all the time. This one, I think, is going to be a 2-2 draw at plus 261. And I've been really struggling to find the value for you this weekend. But plus 261, the draw at Bournemouth, I like it. I like it a lot. The total goals are 3. The over's only minus 112. Probably don't want to take that. But that's my prediction for Bournemouth West Ham. And I know that excites you.
Oh, yeah. You can tell. I'm just seething with excitement.
I can tell.
All right. So the reason we do some of these soccer matches on Fridays because the injury report, or you guys call it something different, correct?
Well, no. They're in the physio room, and the injury report comes out. But it's not even that so much. It's that, a lot of the times, the team sheets are really up in the air during the week, and they start to sort of solidify themselves.
I knew there was a reason.
Right. Now, the next match I want to get to, and we are sort of moving along at quite a clip here, so we might have to do some more vernacular lessons after this, Chelsea.
Vernacular?
Oh, look, that's the phone. That's the boss. Apparently, I've been yanked.
No, you're carrying the team right now.
Okay, good. All right. Well, this match is a fascinating one. The next one is at the Molineux. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Watford. Now, last season, Wolves finished 7th. Watford finished 11th. And there were times last season where I was saying that both of these teams had the potential to be the, quote, best of the rest. Or, really, if they kicked on from last season, then this season they really might challenge for a top 6 position. Well, unfortunately, not so much, because right now Wolverhampton Wanderers are 19th, that's second to last in the table, and Watford are dead bottom. Neither of these teams have a win yet on the season, and we are 6 matches in. It's a bit of a shocker, to be quite honest with you, Chelsea. A bit of a shocker. But we do have one here. This is at the Molineux. Watford, they had a bit of an awful time last week. They played champions Manchester City, and I'm going to ask you to guess the scoreline on that one, Chelsea.
Guess the score.
Yeah.
They had an awful time.
Yeah.
5-0.
No, it was 8-0. They did manage to lose 8-0 to the champions of Manchester City. Poor old Watford. I'm actually quite fond of this club. They're a great club, great ownership. They've had some injury problems, Troy Deeney being really one of the key injuries that they've had. But I don't know what's been going on at Watford. They are absolutely imploding this season. And if we talk about the relegation battle, I mean, they're going to have to do something and do something quickly. And I know we're only 6 games in, or it's going to be down to the championship for them next season, the rate they are going. Wolverhampton Wanderers, on the other hand, last season they played some absolutely cracking football. Just yet to see it really this season. And this, though, is a wonderful fixture for Wolves. They did get a point against Crystal Palace last week, and that was perhaps a light, sort of brief glimpse of hope. But for this one at home, I like Wolves to win. I like Wolves to get their first win of the season. Wolves are plus 102 right now, so that's my pick for this match. Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux, home win, plus 102. Chelsea, you going to put some money on this one?
I don't know. Your picks have been hitting. Even though I like to take those big value ones, because earlier in the year you had some of those that were, plus 400?
Oh, yeah, plus 447. Actually, that week I got 2. I got a plus 274 and a plus 447. And I know, Chelsea, that you took them both because I saw the new Bentley.
Oh.
Very nice.
I think that was OJ driving around town.
Yeah, by the way, I'd like to say hello to my friends in Nigeria who follow me very closely. And, I'm very happy to give our Nigerian brothers and sisters point them in the right direction on some betting. But I do have that big value. Remember, I've got Bournemouth West Ham. I said the draw, 2-2 plus 261. Of course, when I win, I want all the praise. But if I don't win, I just don't want to hear about it. All right?
All right, so let's explain soccer odds a little bit because they do work a little differently. Nobody's minus odds, right?
No, you do get some minus odds. Absolutely. You definitely get some minus odds. So basically you get to bet the win, the loss, or the draw.
Right.
And the total goals as well, which is sort of like your total points.
Right.
And it's usually the over or the under. Generally on the total goals, you're not seeing massive odds on those. There's not enormous value on those. Of course, I don't know what the over 5 was for the Manchester City-Watford game last week. I imagine, 8 goals total would have probably paid something quite nice, but I didn't bet it. Something that's as mismatched as that, unless you're looking at a situation where there's some off-field issues going on. Tottenham are a great example, by the way. I mean, Tottenham should beat almost all the teams they play, but they are such a disaster of a club right now. There's so many things going on that it's very hard to. You might find a little value on a Tottenham match. They're playing Southampton at home this week. I actually think they're going to win, so there's no real value there. I think Tottenham.
Right. I was just wondering because plus 102, are they a favorite in that one?
Well, plus 102, no, they're not the favorite on that one. Actually, I believe I want to say that I think Watford might have. I didn't see the total odds actually.
Okay.
Maybe Craig could look it up quickly while we're going.
We've got 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's a master of this, I tell you that.
He doesn't look too enthused.
All right, well, there you have it, Chelsea. There's a few pointers for the weekend.
All right, as usual, Nick's carrying the team on our soccer talk. Always good stuff and always some good winners, so you might want to place your bets now. Thanks again for joining us. We're back after the break talking football, the American kind, on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Money Now 100 is not a lender, broker, or agent of any lender or financial advisor. We do not make loans or credit decisions. You must be 18 years or older and a U.S. resident to qualify. This is not an offer or solicitation to lend. I went to MoneyNow100.com and got the $5,000 I needed deposited in my account the next business day. If you need money for any reason, help is here. Go to MoneyNow100.com and get the money you need. Need to pay off credit card debt? Go to MoneyNow100.com. Need your car repaired? Need home improvement money? Visit MoneyNow100.com. If you need fast cash for any reason, go to MoneyNow100.com. Good, bad, or no credit at all. Go to MoneyNow100.com. You could get up to $5,000 as soon as the next business day. Go to MoneyNow100.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Type in the address bar MoneyNow100.com. That's MoneyNow, the number 100.com.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Just search Picks and Parlays. We're really easy to find. Today is Friday afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me on Twitter. My handle is just my name, @Chelsa Messinger. Right now, we've got Chip Chirimbes in the studio to talk a little NFL, a little college football. And Chip, you had a nice little winner last night.
Yeah, we had two actually, but one in the NFL without a doubt was Philadelphia. And other than being down 10-0 early, I mean, they were pretty much in contention the whole game and in command. The NFL has really been working well after stubbing our toe the first week out. Chelsea have come on really, really strong.
Yeah, 11-4.
11-4 in the last 15 releases. And Monday night, there's a great one between two 0-3 teams.
So somebody's got to win.
Well, hopefully.
Well, I guess you can tie.
We can now in the NFL, but Cincinnati 0-3 and the Pirates, the Steelers are 0-3 and 0-3 against the number. This line opened with Pittsburgh as a little bit stronger favorite because I think of the way that the Pirates have always dominated the Pirates. The Pirates.
I was going to say, the Pirates haven't been dominating much.
No, you're right. They haven't dominated anything. But the Steelers have dominated Cincinnati. I mean, they're 18-7-1 against this team in the last 25. And that is a real domination when two teams meet every single year. But there's other ways to look at this contest because Pittsburgh just doesn't look the same anymore, Chelsea.
No, it doesn't look like the traditional Steelers teams of the past. They don't have
Absolutely.
Big Ben. They don't have, I guess James Conner is doing well, but he's not Le'Veon Bell. Or at least, I mean, when you don't have a quarterback to take the pressure off the run game, it makes it a lot harder.
And they're also struggling on offense. They're very little run game, and Ben, of course, was pretty inconsistent before he got hurt. 0-3 for the Steelers is really a shocker, but they're only 1-5 against the AFC competition, and they're 4-10 in their last 14 at home. So maybe you'd look toward the Bengals, but the Bengals have lost 8 of their last 9 straight up. At Chelsea, they are 6-0 against the number in their last 6 on the road, and Andy Dalton has thrown for 978 yards already this season. But that record at Pittsburgh really is daunting. And I'll tell you, I think the way to go on this contest on a Monday night would be for these two teams to play under the total. Pittsburgh has very little offense now, and 8 of the last 10 times they've met in Pittsburgh, it has gone under the total. So Monday night, instead of having to fight it out as to which side's going to go here, just root for each team to stay as inept as they are. Cincinnati has no running game, and neither do the Steelers. And I play that game under Monday night.
Right, you mentioned Cincinnati not having a run game, and that's putting a lot more pressure on Andy Dalton to make something happen.
And
put a lot more pressure on him.
He threw the ball the first 2 games 75% of the time, and of course it's pretty tough to keep up those kind of stats. But Cincinnati is still struggling and looking for their identity as well as Pittsburgh.
Right, and we saw kind of last night in the Packers game when a team is very one-dimensional. I don't know why the Packers weren't running the ball at all, but it's a lot easier to stop.
Chelsea, yesterday we talked about how the fact that the Packers haven't put the ball in the air at all. And then yesterday and last night when they needed the running game and they looked like they only needed 1 yard, they didn't attempt to run the ball once. 4 passing attempts, 0 for 4 for Rodgers in that situation, and they pretty much blew the game. I mean, they had the game inside the 10. First down, two different times.
That's what baffles me when you have, I'm not a football coach. Right. Everybody knows this. But when you're first and goal and you don't run the ball at all, not once.
Well, you know what? I think one of the problems is, Chelsea, is that these quarterbacks no longer take the snap from under the center. And even if you're at the 1 yard line and you're in a shotgun, when you're snapping the ball back to Rodgers or whoever it may be, they're getting the ball on the 6 yard line.
Right, it's
and that's
extra
a
yards.
6 yard run from there,
right,
as opposed to being able to quarterback sneak, which someone had mentioned yesterday, which isn't in the game plan if you don't have the quarterback under the center.
Right, and I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I think, was their leading rusher last night.
Imagine that. So how are you going to win a game like that? And they did give up 5 touchdowns.
Right, and we digress. Let's move on to some college football, where Chip is also hot. Let's take a look at your numbers. 12-2. Yeah, Chip's 12-2.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Like I said, we stubbed our toe the first weekend out, but these Friday night games and these Thursday night games, we've had nothing but winners each time out. Last night, 2-0, and Memphis actually spotted the Navy a few points, but we weren't worried about that. We knew what was coming on.
Right.
Oh, you guys, this happens
just like
every
that
week.
Tulane
Happens
game.
every week.
Never worried.
Every week. I'm telling you, don't just get up in the morning, look at the final score, and then read about it later. But we've got a couple
let's move on to these games. Indiana, Michigan State. A big matchup for number 25 Michigan State to see if their defense can continue being super dominant. They're 3-1, 2-2 against the spread, and they've only allowed 31 points in 3 games total. So we're wondering if Indiana can put some points up in this one. Michigan State favored by 14. Total sits at 44.
Well, you know, Chelsea, that number 31 is kind of key. In 16 straight games now, the Spartans have not allowed their opponents to score 30 points. This is a continuum. Even the best teams, Oklahoma and Alabama, have had games where they allowed teams to outscore them. Or not outscore them, but say put up some points. Put up some points.
Yeah.
But this defense has been consistent. 16 straight games holding opponents under 30 points. You know, in the last 6 meetings between these two, of course, Michigan State has been a dominant team. Indiana's been an also-ran in college football and nowadays in college basketball as well. But the favorite is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings, and that's because Michigan State's been favored in the last 6 meetings. Although Michigan State has only covered 2 of their last 8 at home. And, you know, Chelsea, this Indiana team, they took out a senior quarterback who they had starting, Peyton Ramsey, and they started a freshman, and now he's been injured.
Right, Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, he had a concussion. So his stature and his status for this game this week is in question. And, you know, since Ramsey got back into the quarterbacking position, and, you know, he has plenty of experience. He's been out there before. 36 of 41 for 473 yards, and that's pretty good no matter who you're playing against. But Indiana is 0-7 in their last 7 at Michigan State, but they're averaging over 300 yards a game passing alone. Though they're 7-18 in the conference, Chelsea, I'm going to take a shot here. 14.5 points. 14 points is an awful big number. Indiana has proven they can move the ball through the air. They are 3-1 on the season. They know what it is like to win and be competitive. Their one loss, though, was to Ohio State, who just absolutely obliterated
Right,
them.
I think you have to put an asterisk next to that one because Ohio State's been dominating everyone.
Yeah,
the only issue I'd have with Indiana is their starting left tackle is now out for the season, so that can spell trouble against this Michigan State defensive line that's been really good and really formidable, especially if your quarterback needs some time to throw the ball. Sometimes it can be an issue, but like you mentioned, 14 points is a lot.
And, you know, losing a left tackle, the impact of that position can't be stressed more. I mean, look what's happened to Stanford. Stanford came out.
Right, Walker Little's been out.
And they just haven't been the same since. So you may have a key factor there.
All right, let's move on to SMU and USF. SMU 4-0 and also 4-0 against the spread. They're looking to go 5-0 for the first time since 1983, so this would be a huge win for their program. Meanwhile, USF 1-2, 2-1 against the spread. This is a conference game, so both teams will be up. How are we leaning on this one?
Well, you know, SMU has been 4-0 since my good buddy Ron Meyer, who's passed on, was coaching, of course, when they had the Pony Express down there.
Right.
The Mustangs. But SMU 4-0 is coming off their biggest game of the season. This team hasn't been expected to play this well. They're usually not expected to do as well as they're doing right now. Coming off the death penalty a number of years ago, but they're coming off their biggest game of the year, Chelsea. They just played
TCU. That was a big win over TCU for them.
Yes, it is. 2 Dallas schools going head-to-head. I don't see them being emotionally ready to play a South Florida team that has struggled this year and has allowed 7 rushing touchdowns. And the thing about rushing touchdowns is SMU leads the nation. That's why they're called the Mustangs, I guess, because they're running the ball into the end zone. 15 rushing touchdowns. They're 4-1 as a favorite in their last 5 on the road.
And just to be clear, here's the line on this. SMU is favored -7.5 because obviously you play the number, you know, and the total sits at 62.5 just before we go any further.
Okay, well, you know, I'm glad you brought up the offensive numbers because SMU is averaging 514 yards a game, total offense, over 200 yards rushing. So, of course, horses do like to run, and so do Mustangs. The offense for South Florida really needs something to be desired. They're averaging under 300 yards total offense. They have absolutely no run game, but they are 5-1 in their AAC openers. They're 1-6 in their last 7 at home. But I'm telling you, Chelsea, it isn't so much the stats. If you look at the stats of this matchup, there's without a doubt SMU is the better team. SMU is the team you're going to look to play. That 7.5 or 8 points by game time may be the equalizer. But tell you the truth, I think emotionally the Mustangs can't get to the same place they were last week against the Horned Frogs. I don't think they can be ready to play South Florida the way they were ready to play TCU last week. Another
interesting tidbit, their quarterback Shane Buechele, he actually was a quarterback at Texas. So Charlie Strong, he knows this quarterback. I don't know if that makes a difference because it's not like it's the same playbook or anything. He just knows the tendencies because Charlie Strong, who's now the head coach at USF, he knows this quarterback at SMU.
Well, you know, you were asking me about coaching tendencies, and I think that would be more important than player tendencies yesterday. And we had talked yesterday how Green Bay came in 3-0, and that was a smaller sample than Peterson's 4-0 overall on Thursday nights. So maybe the coaching, I think, head-to-head is more viable and more important.
Right. It's just something, of interest. I think Bouchel, his dad played in the big leagues for a long time for the Rangers. Also, fun fact.
We like that pedigree. Just talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Right, yeah.
He's got pedigree. And it's happening now all over Major League Baseball as well with Bichette and all these other Bigios.
Yeah.
These players are coming, and Tatis. I mean, there's a number of them out there whose fathers were excellent players in the Major Leagues.
It's not fair for the rest of us. But what has struck me about SMU is despite being an air raid offense, they are pretty balanced. They actually have a really even split when it comes to first downs, rushing, and passing. So that's a lot harder to stop than, say, a team that's really one-dimensional.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that they've already have that running game established where they're averaging virtually 7 yards per attempt. I mean, that really opens up the passing game if teams, how it always works. Is that some people are using the pass nowadays to open up the running game.
Right, or vice versa.
Right, in the old way, it used to be they'd establish the running game and then they'd start throwing. Things have changed nowadays, but to have the balance is rare, and SMU's got big-time balance right here.
So who are you taking this one, just one more time?
We're going to take South Florida because of the emotional effect of SMU coming off the game against TCU. They're both located in Dallas. They played in Dallas. I watched the game again last night. It was on TV once again. And as SMU really is a strong club all the way around, 4-0, but I don't think they get it done this weekend.
All right, thanks again, Chip, for joining us. We hope he stays hot.
Yep.
And we'll be back after the break on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts, where you can earn bonus points on more than 250 offers. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store today or browse through our offers at O'ReillyAuto.com, where you can earn double points shopping online. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey.
Hey, Bench, what are you doing?
I'm rubbing my Blue Emu on.
Were you ready to go fishing?
Fishing?
You said we were going fishing this morning.
I have 10 Gold Glove awards.
Oh, here we go again.
Johnny Bench doesn't go fishing.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny Bench goes catching. Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Available at nationwide retailers and Amazon.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more.
800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip, or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
And we're back. Joe, are you ready down there?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're back on Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. I am joined now by Craig Trapp and Joe D'Amico, who is prepping down there.
I'm printing and prepping.
Craig doesn't have to worry about being good looking like I do. We have to prep and prep a little bit more. I do love following Nick. I do love following Chipper. I love hanging out with Chipper because I get all those good parking spaces. I love Chip. My favorite part of the show, Craig, myself, and Chelsa, rapid fire.
Right.
NFL
Week 4 rapid fire, just to frame it up nice and tight for you guys. Let's start off with the Patriots and the Bills, two unbeaten teams squaring off in the AFC East. Patriots favored by 7 in this one. Total sits at 42.5. Joe, how you feeling on this one?
Well, first of all, Chelsea, I want to tell you how I'm feeling. I'm feeling wonderful because so far to date on picks and parlays, I'm 5-0 on games of the month, 3-0 in college conference games of the month, 2-0 in NFL. This weekend, I'm doing something I've never done before. I usually have 1, 2, possibly 3 big games over the course of the week. Guys, I have 5 games of the month this weekend. I'm reading my notes on this week, so I want to get it right. Guys, I have my AAC game of the month, my Conference USA game of the month, my Big Ten game of the month. That's all on Saturday. Obviously, Sunday, my AFC East game of the month, and my granddaddy of them all, my NFL game of the month. I am going to go 5-0 on games of the month this weekend. You can get them all right here on Picks and Parlays. It is going to be explosive. I can talk about New England. Tell me, Craig, what do you want to say?
Well, I think this one, it's the Pats -7, first of all. Total set at 42.5. I'm guessing this is the AFC East game of the month.
Absolutely. I love this game. It doesn't get bigger or better than this. I want you to know, Craig, on Picks and Parlays, 5-0 games of the month, and I'm so proud to be here this weekend with you and Chelsea.
Well, I think this comes down to how much do you believe in this Bills team? They've beat the Jets.
Right.
They've beat the Bengals. And had to hold on to the end to beat the Bengals. Well, I'm a Bengals
fan.
fan.
Jets game they shouldn't have won.
They shouldn't have probably won either one of those games. And, I mean, they were up big at half against the Bengals, let the Bengals come all the way back, take the lead. Then they took the lead and had to hold on with an interception down in the red zone late. I just don't believe in the Bills yet. I got to take the 7 points with the Patriots. I know Bills Mafia probably going to have some negative comments down here, but listen, you have to prove it on the field against the best competition. And, yes, the Pats haven't played that much better competition, but I do believe in Brady and Belichick, and let's take lay the 7 points with the New England Patriots.
I will say the Bills' defense has been really good. They've
Really
gone
good.
15 straight games, allowing less than 400 yards of offense to opponents. So that's not a small sample size. So their defense is good. The issue is the offense. Josh Allen can be good at times. He scrambles around. He's hard to cover, but he's also very unpredictable, and sometimes his decision-making is a little questionable.
Josh Allen versus Brady. Who do you want? Even with 7 points. I don't care where they're playing this at, in the street, in Buffalo, in New England. I'll take New England.
Unless they're playing in the parking lot where the Bills fans are jumping off tables,
Yes.
then I'd probably take the Bills.
I wouldn't want Tom Brady going through a table at this age. Let's just
Well,
put
he
that
won't even eat strawberries.
That's
So, all right, let's move on to the Panthers and the Texans. Texans favored by 4 in this one. Total sits at 47.5. Joe, let's start with you.
Chelsea, as everybody knows, Cam Newton is out. This leaves the Kyle Allen at the helm. Obviously a step down, but let's be honest, sports fans. The Panthers are no offensive juggernaut to begin with. I feel the number here is very, very sharp. It's right where it should be. Carolina's defense is good against the pass, horrible against the rush. I want you to know, I think there's an argument for both sides. Craig, Chelsea, sports fans, I'm staying away from this game. I think there are better games on the board.
Well, there's probably better games on the board, but I think these are the games that sometimes bettors will overlook because it's not a high-profile matchup now that Cam Newton's not playing. Well, guess what? Like he said last week, they didn't need Cam Newton to win. They looked their most impressive last week. Yes, it was on the road against probably
the Cardinals defense
an average
is not,
Arizona team, but they got it done in impressive fashion. I think there's a little confidence this week. I like the over 47.5 here. Texans' offenses look good. They look good against, I almost said San Diego. The Chargers' defense was supposed to be pretty good. They didn't have any problem scoring last week. I like the over 47.5 here. I think a lot of people are going to stay away from this game, like Joe said, because Cam Newton's out. Mm-hmm. I think the Panthers put up points. I don't like the way the Panthers' defense has been playing. Let's take the over here.
I think the issue I have with this one is the Panthers' pass rush has not been very prolific. Despite adding Gerald McCoy, they haven't been able to put pressure on these quarterbacks. And Deshaun Watson, when he's not under pressure, is really good.
Well, Deshaun Watson's ability, he's back healthy again. Because his ability to scramble around, and we've seen this a lot with passers like him. Russell Westbrook gets a lot.
Russell
Westbrook's in the NBA, but obviously
he scrambles a little bit too.
He scrambles. He would be a heck of a quarterback. But anyway, Russell Wilson, where he can scramble around, throw it down the field late. We've seen that in Watson, and sometimes he'll just pull it down and run. I really think Houston's going to put up a bunch of points here, and I think Carolina will do their share. So I think the over is a little stronger play.
Yeah, I would almost say Kyle Allen has improved that offense over the Cam Newton that we saw the first of the year, because, I mean, he wasn't doing anybody any favors.
He couldn't hit open receivers the first few
Right,
weeks.
and he had no confidence, so
Right.
I don't know. Let's move on to the Bucks and the Rams. The Bucks making the trip out west to the Rams. Rams favored -9.5. Total sits at 49. The Rams are 3-0 and also 3-0 against the spread.
Well, Chelsea, as you mentioned, 3-0 straight up and against the spread. However, sports fans, something just ain't right in L.A. For whatever reason, they're just not the same team they were a season ago. Jared Goff is not throwing the ball very well. The passing game ranks 24th. They really do depend on Todd Gurley's legs. Guys, the Buccaneers are no world beater butt, and this butt is bigger than Oprah's butt. Listen to me. They are very tough against the run. They're 6th in the league against the rush, and they can run the ball themselves and kill some clock. I'm not saying the Buccaneers are going to win this game outright, but getting nearly double digits here, I believe the line is 9.5, Craig, Chelsea. I have to take the Buccaneers here.
Well, if you're going to take the Bucks, I would say wait on this one, because it does look like there's a bunch of money coming in on the Rams. I would hope this line, if you're going to bet the underdog, would go to the double-digit 10 number, being the key number. But to me, I just have to take the Rams. I just think, yes, Todd Gurley's been not himself. Let's just put it that way. He's shown that flash, but he just hasn't been able to do what he did early last season.
But Malcolm Brown's been pretty good.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Malcolm Brown has been a nice change of pace back for them. I think the Rams here just put up too many points, and after the Bucks lost and gave up all those points to a Giants team that's not very good, I just don't have any confidence.
They blew an 18-point lead.
That's hard. That's hard to take a team.
That's tough to watch.
Although,
and then they missed a field goal, right?
You know, a lot of these guys that usually when you have that really bad game, a lot of people like to say, you know, they obviously are going to be up for this one. But I'm going to take the Rams here minus the 9.5. I don't love this game just because I don't like laying near double digits in the NFL.
Right, but if there was any team I would take that big number with, it would be the Rams. I think they've looked pretty good this year, and especially we talk about pass rushes. Aaron Donald versus Jameis Winston. I don't like that matchup.
Aaron Donald right now would probably be the defensive player of the year. I mean, he is wrecking teams. I mean, the Browns, Baker Mayfield's going to have nightmares about him after last week. He was all over him. I mean, it's like, you know, he's the best player. How are you not double team him? But it doesn't matter.
Maybe they'll double team him this week.
It doesn't matter. He is a guy that's so fast and so explosive. If you don't get the ball out fast, he's going to wreck any passing game.
All right, let's move on to the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Seahawks favored by 5 in this one. Total sits at 48. The Cardinals 0-2 and 1, I suppose. I didn't put that down, but they tied, right?
Yes, yeah.
Joe, how are you feeling on this one?
Well, guys, normally Craig gives me some of the ugliest games on the board, I'll be honest with you. He saves some of the toughest games for me. This is a game I really do like. Sports fans, I feel bad for Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. I mean, the Oklahoma product, he's not doing that bad. 830 yards passing, 61.3% completion rate, 4-3 TD-INT ratio. But let me tell you why I feel bad for this guy. He has to face a very good Seahawks defense this week that comes in here pissed off after last week's loss to the Saints. Murray does not have the luxury of having a ground game to keep the Seattle defense honest. Russell Wilson, in my opinion, is playing some of the best football of his career, guys. Look for him in his backfield to put up points against the 29th-ranked Arizona defense. They're allowing 29.3 a game. As long as this game is under a touchdown and it's 5 points as of taping this, I am playing Seattle here, and I like this game strong.
Yeah, I do too. I think Seattle is clearly the better team. I love when teams really lay an egg and then they go on the road the next week. It really usually brings the team together. I think you're going to see that this week. I think Pete Carroll's going to have this team ready. Russell Wilson, Russell Westbrook, whoever's playing quarterback for the Seahawks. I think Seattle -5 here is the play. Arizona was not great last week. A backup quarterback, like we already talked about, in Carolina, struggling Carolina team went in there and took care of business. I think Seattle will do similar this week. Let's lay the 5 points with Seattle Seahawks.
All right, on to the NFC North. Vikings, Bears. Bears -2. Total sits at 38. Joe, who you like in this one?
Chelsea, sports fans, don't fool yourself just because Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago offense played up 31 points on Washington. Don't think they're going to start to roll offensively. This offensive unit is still not in sync. I didn't like Trubisky in college. I don't like him in the pros. He's overrated. He's overvalued. I want you to know their defense is solid, and they are the reason why this team has a couple of victories. But another big but, guys.
Oh, no.
But Dalvin Cook and the second-ranked rushing attack of the Minnesota comes into Soldier Field with the NFL's fifth-ranked defense. This team only allows 15.7 a game. Not only do I like Minnesota here, I think they win this game outright. Let me tell you, Chicago and Soldier Field are not what they once was. And I really don't like Mitch Trubisky, guys. I'm not a big fan of him.
I think
he
you've
has
made that
the
clear.
tools. I think he has the talent, Chelsea and Craig. I think he has the talent, the physical talent. I don't think he has it up here. I don't think he's ever going to have it up here. You either got it or you ain't got it. He ain't got it. Minnesota's going to take it this week.
Well, last year, I will say, this is the reason I'm playing the total in this one. Chicago won both matchups. Minnesota was probably the biggest disappointment in the league last year.
Right.
They've looked better this year, but I still I got a little bit of question because Kirk Cousins, he's basically a 500 quarterback. He is a 500 quarterback. I think he's one game above 500 in his career. So to me, I don't think he's that much better than Trubisky. And you have to, obviously with the Bears at home, that defense is elite. I would say Mack is the second best defensive player of the year as far as right now. To me, I think you played the total here. I know it's a very low total. We see this total at 38.
Yeah.
They're begging you to play the over in this one. Don't fall for it. Take the under 38. I think this one is a 17-13, 13-10 type game. Let's take the under 38. And what I think should be a good defensive battle.
Well, and the Bears -2, what jumps out to me is their kicker, Eddie Pinheiro, is dealing with a pinched nerve. So Bears and kickers.
Disaster.
Tough.
Disaster.
Tough.
If you're a Bears fan, you hear an injured kicker, you're thinking, please don't make us go get another, because at least he did hit the big game winner.
He might play this week. He's not out. It's just he's been dealing with that. So
at least the positive, if you're a Bears fan, he made the kick in Denver to win the game. As long as he's healthy, you may be a fixture kicker woes if you're a Chicago fan.
All right, about 2 minutes left and 2 games left. Jags, Broncos -3, total 38. Joe.
Well, guys, in August, if you would have told me that Gardner Minshew was going into Mile High to square off against Joe Flacco, I would have said Broncos all the way. 3 games into the season, the rookie quarterback has better overall statistics than the 12-year veteran Jacksonville. They're putting up just 19.3 a game, but Denver, even ugly, their offense, 15.3 a game. Both defenses are good. And outside of the Chiefs matchup, the Jaguars' defense did play better. You can't blame them for playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are an elite team, not just an AFC elite. They are an elite team. Jaguars are 4-1 against the number the last 5 meetings in the series. I like the underdog here. Not only that, but I like a bonus play on the under. Low-scoring game, but I think the Jaguars win this game outright.
This is my top side of the week. You can get over at picksandparlays.net. I really like this one. Had a good weekend last weekend. I think this one's going to be an easy winner for me this weekend.
All right. Let's move on to the Cowboys and the Saints. A good matchup here. Cowboys 3-0. 3-0 against the spread. The Saints, they do have Teddy Bridgewater, but he was serviceable in their win against the Seahawks. Joe, how you feeling?
Well, I know. No Drew Brees. Teddy Bridgewater, as Chelsa mentioned a moment ago, brings a different dynamic to the Saints offense. Yes, Dallas is 3-0, both straight up and against the spread. But guys, they faced a 1-2 Giants team, an 0-3 Redskins team, and an 0-3 Miami team. For those of you keeping score at home, that's 1-8. That's not too good, guys. New Orleans has played better opponents. Folks, on paper, you're supposed to play the Cowboys here, but America's team is just 1-5 against spread the last 6 at the Superdome, which is the loudest and nastiest and toughest place for a visitor to play in the NFL. I'm taking the Saints here.
I agree. I think the Saints win out right here. I will take the points, and I'm probably going to wait to game time, hoping this number slides back to 3. But either way, I think the Saints win. I think Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill will do plenty.
All right, that's our NFL Rapid Fire segment. We're back after the break on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-430-9571. 800-430-9571. 800-430-9571. That's 800-430-9571.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and also streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me here every day, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern, at least on weekdays. We don't do it on the weekends. You can also find me on Twitter at Chelsa Messinger. It was a great show today, full of animated talk and banter about some of these football games, both soccer, you know, the original football, and American football. Let's recap all of our picks from today's show in case, you know, you weren't paying attention or if you're just now tuning in. We've got you covered. Starting with some Premier League soccer picks from Nick Geber. Aston Villa, Burnley taking Villa plus 120. Bournemouth, West Ham take the draw at plus 261. Wolves, Watford take Wolves plus 102. And then moving on, Chip Chirimbes gave us some NFL and college free picks. Indiana, Michigan State, minus 14.5, taking the Hoosiers in this one. Indiana to cover. SMU, South Florida in this one at plus 8. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh in that Monday night game next week, minus 3.5, and the line, or the over-under, is 44. Chip's taking the under at 44. Moving on to Craig Trapp's rapid fire NFL picks. Pats at Bills, taking the Pats, minus 7 to stay undefeated. Panthers, Texans, taking the over, 47.5. Bucks at Rams, taking the Rams to cover that big number, minus 9.5. And Joe D'Amico gave us some rapid fire picks as well for the NFL. Seahawks, Cardinals, taking the Seahawks, minus 5. Jags, Broncos, taking the Jags on the road, plus 3. Cowboys, Saints, taking the Saints, plus 2.5 for that big matchup in New Orleans. Yeah, it's in New Orleans. Nobody's taking the Cowboys, I suppose, even though I think Dak Prescott and Jason Garrett, both playing for new contracts, you know they're motivated. All right, that's our show for today. We'll see you back here on Monday, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern, for more Picks and Parlays Radio. Bet, win, repeat. See you Monday.